Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make lemon ginger cayenne shots without a juicer. Now I don't have a juicer because I'm kind of a cheapskate, and also I don't think that you need one to make these awesome shots. I just use this blender that I got for $12 at Walmart, and it's worked just fine. So these lemon ginger cayenne shots, they're fantastic for boosting your immunity, kickstarting your metabolism, or even just to help freshen your breath. They're really a delight. So anyway, however many shots you want to make is going to influence how much lemon juice and ginger that you start with. So I'm going to make 5 shots, I think, 4 or 5. So that means I'll take 4 lemons, wash them, of course, and about yay much ginger. And I wash that too. So, battery's dying. What I start with are, of course, your ingredients: lemon, ginger, cayenne, and you're gonna need a sieve or a strainer. Of course, your blender. I use 2 of these measuring cups because I like to strain it twice, and you'll see why here in a second. But start just by cutting the lemons in half. And then I like to use a juicer because I'm just kind of lazy that way. So I take the juicer and I squeeze all of the lemon halves into, the measuring cup. So you want to make sure you get all of the juice out. And one of the reasons why I like to use the juicer, not only because it's quicker and more efficient, but also it helps to keep the seeds out. So if you're just squeezing the lemon straight into whatever cup you're using, a lot of times you'll have to go back and fish the seeds out afterward, and nobody wants to do that. So I recommend investing in a juicer. You can get them, of course, at my favorite, Walmart, or you can get them at TJ Maxx, or if you want to be fancy, you can go to Sur La Table or Williams-Sonoma to get the same thing for more. So basically, I just squeeze these 8 halves that I have now, and depending on the ripeness of the lemon, I know I could have rolled them around before I started squeezing them, but that'll dictate how much juice you get out from each one. So you want to use lemons that are squishy, I guess. You don't want to use the ones that are firm because they don't yield as much juice. So you want to use the ones that are a little bit softer to the touch. Of course, no like super squishy rotten lemons, but make sure that they're ripe. I always get a bag at the store just because they're cheaper that way. But if you want to go to the individual lemons and touch each one and find the most squishy ones, I'd recommend doing that. So I'm almost finished here. I have my last lemon half. I'm squeezing the juice out, and it's given me about a little more than half a cup of juice. So I never really pay attention to the exact amounts. I just sort of do it by look and feel. So using this many lemons, you get varying amounts of juice, but looks about like that. After that, you want to take your ginger and slice it into smaller pieces. So how I do that is cut it in half, and then I just slice it into chunks. And if you're, depending on the amount that you're making, it's going to, you want it to be proportionate to the lemon juice. So I'll show you what I mean by that in just a sec. because this is not an exact science. Like I said, I do it a lot by feel. And I actually don't take the skin off of the ginger. I know some people do, but I don't, because you're gonna blend it all up and mix it anyway and then strain it out. So it really doesn't matter why I do that extra work. One of the things about ginger though is if it's blue or if it's green or has some like weird moldy looking color to it, that does not mean that it's bad. So if you see some blue on your ginger, don't throw it away. That doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's molded. It's just some different variations or types of ginger, just they turn that color. And it's not like, this one's got a little bit of a blue tinge to it. It's not unhealthy or bad or anything like that. So looking here like I have just about enough. I might want to cut some more after I put the lemon juice into the blending container. So doing this carefully in case any seeds did get in here. You pour it out slowly and the seed will stay at the bottom. Like there's one tiny one in there that's at the bottom now. Let me get that out. And then I have the lemon juice in my cup here. And then I put the ginger chunks in there. And like I said, it's not an exact science. You have to do it by feel. So you want to have like enough ginger chunks that they're still going to be covered by the lemon juice. So I can put some more ginger in there for sure. And you can get ginger at your grocery store. It's usually by where the celery and the like salad stuff is. Mine's that I go to Publix to get mine, and it's by where like the carrots and things like that are in the fresh produce section. And I would recommend getting your own instead of buying pre-processed ginger or pre-cut, because when you have it yourself, you're in charge. You know, you can know its origins. I think I'm gonna do one more little nub, and that'll be it for this batch. So as you can see, cutting it in half, and then halving that, and then cutting it in chunks. Yay. Also, the same thing goes for the lemon juice. Buy lemons and squeeze them. Don't buy pre-squeezed lemon juice, because oftentimes it's been either diluted, it has like lemon oil added to it, or it also can have what is that stuff? The sulfur dioxide, so that sulfites preservative stuff in it, and you don't want that. Okay, so after, whoop, one step too fast. After you have the ginger mixed up with the lemon, I put some cayenne in there. So I put cayenne in 2 steps. And just like, I don't know, a shake or 2, depending on your tolerance, that is how much you should put in. So then I shut this, make sure that it is tightly sealed. And then I'm not quite done with this yet. I'll be using that in a step later. So I just put this in my wonderful $12 blender from Walmart, and then just, it doesn't have even like speeds on it. It's just chop it up and go. So that's what I'll be doing for the next, I don't know, 30 seconds. I don't know, another 10 seconds or so. So as I mentioned, it's not an exact science. This looks pretty good. It is, well, maybe just another, we can work with this. So blend it until it is, you know, all mixed up together. That's what we're aiming for. And you're gonna take the same Pyrex, your measuring glass, that you used to gather the lemon juice. You're gonna use that now to extract the juice from what you have blended. So this is what the blender looks like. It's not fancy, but it really does the trick. Okay, so I take my little sieve here and I do this portion by portion. So pour some lumps up in there, and usually it takes 2 or 3, and then I take a spatula or like a little plastic spoon or a rubberized spoon, and then you're going to gently squeeze the pulp. And as you can see, there is that juice coming out there through the sieve that is, you know, what I guess a juicer would yield, for those of you fancy people that can afford it. But I still have a step that I go through after this, because as great as it is to have the sieve to keep the pulp from going through, it does still a little bit, and you can start to see it collecting at the bottom. So basically you're just squeezing all of the juice out of the pulp that was created by blending the lemon juice and the ginger together. So if you have clean hands, you can like also squeeze it with your hand too, like that'll get some extra juice out. And then that's just waste. I just throw that part away. And like I said, it usually takes 2 or 3 of these pulp things I create to get the juice out for these lemon ginger cayenne shots. So again, using the sieve and the spatula to squeeze the juice out of this blended mix. And you know that you got a lot of the juice out of the ginger because of the amount of pulp left over versus the size of the ginger that you chopped up and added to the lemon juice. So that is what this stage of the process looks like. And you want to get all of the juice out of this pulp as possible. You don't want to waste any of it because it's bad to be wasteful. That's why I even squeeze it again at the end. And you'll be surprised at how much juice you get out of that. Okay, so this very last chunk of pulp to squeeze the juice out of, and of course I like to make sure I get all of the last little remnants out of the blender cup. I mean, sometimes I'll even use a little bit of water to rinse it out if there's a lot of chunks left in there, but today it looks pretty good. All right, so this is the last bout of getting the juice out of this little pulp mass. So it's really a relaxing process, and this looks like it's probably going to yield about 5 or 6 shots, which, depending on how many you want to take a day, could last you up to a week. And I will show you how I divvy it out here after I get all of the juice. Okay. So this is not the final step for the synthesizing the juice. I like to run it through the sieve one more time because you'll see here already there's some pulp settling at the bottom, and you want to strain that out. So I take another little cup, rinse the pulp here off, and then pour, oops, no thanks. I don't want tap water in my juice. There we go. And then doing this is just an added, I don't know, purification process. Because as you can see here, there's some pulp that made it through when I was pushing it through this little seed. So doing that one more time back into the original. And there you have it. So now you have your lemon ginger cayenne juice here. And I like to mix it up because it settles pretty quickly. So mix it up. And then what I do is I take these awesome little shot glasses that you can also get at Party Supply Store, Walmart. And I don't know, I'm gonna lay out 5. I think that's enough for this batch. And what I do here, extra little step, I take the cayenne and I just put a tap into each one. That was kind of a little more than a tap, but depending on your, I don't know, tolerance or how much you want to consume, that is just, you know, what I do before I pour this juice into there. So now, making sure that it didn't get settled, you have your delicious shot here, and pour a little bit into each one because again it settles really quickly, so you want to make sure that you're dispersing that settlement at the bottom evenly between each one of these portions. So looks like it's going to be exactly enough for 5. Perfect. And then I take my lids, put a lid on each one, and then stack them and put them in the fridge. And look at 4 lemons and that chunk of ginger makes these 5 shots, which, you know, the store charges anywhere from $2 to $4 for. And look at that. Beautiful.